I welcome you all to my class. I'm Miss Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. Today we are going to solve problems on 5 different types of index numbers. See, we have seen that there are two methods to construct the index number, that is aggregative method and average of price relative method. And the problems based on that also we have seen. So the formula to calculate the index number for unweighted type of commodities, the index number is summation of P1 divided by summation of P0 into 100. If you are you are taking average of price relative method, then you find out the relative price for each commodity and then take the average of the relative prices. Okay. Then we have seen what is weighted type of index number. In that, again, we have seen two types of methods: weighted aggregative method and weighted average of price relative method. See this. It is unweighted. And these problems also we have solved. This tutorial we have done yesterday. So in weighted index number, the aggregative method, if you are using, then how to calculate the index number? It is given by summation of P1, and that you have to multiply by the weight. Summation P1W divided by summation P0W into 100, where P0 is the prices in the base year and P1 is the prices in the current year. Now, if you take different values of weight, then you will get different index numbers. So the first one is, if the weight W is taken as Q0. What is Q0? Q0 means quantity, Q for quantity. Quantity consumed in base year. Whenever I am using the suffix 0, it means base year. So if I take W equal to Q0, then the index number I will be summation, put in place of W, Q0. So summation P1 into Q0 divided by summation P0 into Q0 into 100. I'll get the index number if I put W equal to Q0 as summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0. This index number is called as last year's index number, and it is denoted by IL, L for last year's. So this is what last year's index number. Last year is the name of the person or the statistician. Index number. Last year's index number. Okay. The second one, if you take W equal to Q1, Q1 means quantity in the current year. Then the index number which you will get is called as Paskey's index number. It is noted by IP. It is given by summation of P1 into Q1. In place of W, put Q1. Summation of P0 Q1 into 100. And this index number is called as Paskey's index number. Again, Paskey is the name of the statistician who studied this index number. He has taken the weight as quantity consumed in the current year. So IP is summation of P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1. So in this formula, if you put W equal to Q0, you get last year's. When you put W equal to Q1, you get Paskey's index numbers. The third one is called as Fisher's index numbers. How do you get the Fisher's index number? It is denoted by IF. It is the square root of IL into IP. Okay. If you take the square, multiply two numbers and take its square root, it is called the geometric mean of the two numbers. So it is nothing but geometric mean of IL and IP. What is geometric mean? If you multiply two numbers and take its square root, you get what is called as the geometric mean. So IF, that is Fisher's index number, is the geometric mean of IL and IP. Fourth one is Dorbish-Bally index number. Fourth one is Dorbish-Bally index number. This index number is obtained as the arithmetic mean of, it is the arithmetic mean of IL and IP. So how will you give Dorbish-Bally? It is noted by IDB. D for Dorbish, B for Bally. So it is the arithmetic mean of IL and IP. Arithmetic mean, how do you calculate? You add the two, IL and IP, and divide by 2. So that is the Dorbish-Bally. The next one is Marshall-Edgeworth. How do you get the Marshall-Edgeworth index number? It is noted by IME. It is the ratio of the sum of, in the numerator, what you have to take is the sum of the numerators of IL and IP. So what was IL? P, summation P1 Q0, and IP mein numerator was P1 Q1. So you take the sum of the numerators. So summation of P1 Q0 plus summation of P1 Q1. That will be the numerator of IME. So summation of P1 Q0 plus summation of P1 Q1. And in the denominator, you take the sum of the denominators of IL and IP. So what is the denominator of IL? Summation P0 Q0. And here in IP, the denominator is summation P0 Q1. So we take the sum of these two. So it is summation of P0 Q0 plus summation P0 Q1 into 100. So this is how we give Marshall-Edgeworth. So now we will solve the problems to calculate these 5 types of index numbers. See, for the following data, calculate IL, that is last year's, IP, Paskey's, IF, Fisher's, IDB, that is Dorbish-Bally's, and fifth one, Marshall-Edgeworth index number. Here you are given the data regarding 4 types of commodities: rice, pulses, sugar, and oil. Their prices and quantity in the base year and in the current year is given to you. Look at here. This is the column for base year. So base year price for rice, it is 4, pulses 8, sugar 6, and oil 14. Base year quantity is 15, 20, 25, and 10 respectively. For current year, the prices are 5, 12, 8, and 21, and quantities are 20, 10, 20, and 15. So this much information is being given to you. Now what you have to do, with this you give the notation. See, base year price. So price we denote by P, and if it is for base year, we put the suffix as 0. So this column is P0. So I've written here P0. This column, quantity, we denote by Q, and if it is for base year, we put the suffix as 0. So this column stands for Q0. What is this? Price, we denote by P. For current year, so this column stands for P1. And similarly, this quantity, we denote by Q, and for the current year, we denote it by Q1. We put a suffix as 1. So we give the notations to different columns. I have copied the same table in the next slide here. Okay. Now see here, when you have to calculate IL and IP, IF and all these things. So you see that for IL, what you need, summation of P1 Q0 divided by summation of P0 Q0. This is your formula for IL. And what is your formula for IP? It is summation of P1 Q1 divided by summation of P0 Q1 into 100. So that means we need to calculate the sum of P1 Q0, summation of P0 Q0, summation of P1 Q1, and summation of P0 Q1. So I have to make 4 more columns. So I prepared 4 more columns. The first one is P0 Q0. Okay, see here, you need P0 Q0, and P1 Q0 you need here. P0 Q1, the denominator of IP, and P1 Q1, the numerator of IP. So I have to prepare these 4 columns. Now look at here, P0 Q0. Where is the column for P0? It is here, and Q0 is here. That means I have to multiply these 2 columns. So I'll multiply these 2 columns, P0 and Q0. 4 into 15, that will give me 60. Okay, 8 into 20, 160. So in this way, you prepare this column. 6 into 25, that gives me 150. And 14 into 10 will give me 140. Correct? 4 into 15, 60. 8 into 20, 160. 6 into 25, 150. And 14 into 10, 140. Now we have to prepare the column for P1 Q0. Where is P1? P1 is here. And where is Q0? It is here. So I have to multiply these two, P1 and Q0. Let me use different color for that. So I use this black color. So P1 and Q0. I am multiplying these 2 columns. So 15 into 5 will give me 75. P1 into Q0. 15 into 5. Then 20 into 12. 240. Okay. Then I have 8 into 25. That gives me 200. And then finally 10 into 21. So that gives me 210. Okay. So 15 into 5, P0, P1, Q0, P1, Q0, 75, 20 into 12, 240, 25 into 8, 200, 10 into 21, 210. So I prepared the column for P1, Q0. Then P0, Q1. Here is P0 and here is P0, Q1. So first and the last column. So if you want, you can use a different color. P0, Q1. So I want P0 and Q1. This column, multiply these two. So 4 into 20 will give me 80. 8 into 10, again 80. 6 into 20, 120. And 14 into 15, that will give me 210. Okay. So P0, Q1. Then P1, Q1. P1, Q1 means these 2 columns. So P1 and Q1, these 2. So 5 into 20, that will give me 100. 12 into 10 will give me 120. Then 8 into 20, that is 160. And then 21 into 15, that is 350. Okay. So P1, Q1, multiply these 2 columns. So I'll get 5 into 20, that is 100. 12 into 10, 120. 8 into 20, 160. 21 into 15, 315. Okay. Now what we want the sum. So we have to take the sum of each column. So this is the last row. I put a symbol here, summation. So take the summation of P0, Q0. So that is 60 plus 160 plus 150 plus 140. So the answer is 510. So here you are getting 510. So summation of this column is 510. Then P1 Q0. Take the summation of P1 Q0 column. So 75 plus 240 plus 200 plus 210. That gives me 725. Okay. Next one. 80 plus 80 plus 120 plus 210. That gives me 490. And the last one, 100 plus 120 plus 160 plus 315. That gives me 695. So in this way, I take the sum of all the columns. Now let us calculate IL. So IL is what? Summation of P1 Q0 divided by summation of P0 Q0 into 100. So that is, let us do it in the next slide. First one. IL is summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into 100. What is summation P1 Q0? P1 Q0 is 725 and this is 510. So 725 divided by 510. 725 divided by 510. So 725 divided by 510 into 100. So what is the answer? 725 divided by 510 into 100 gives you 142.156. We can take it as 16. Okay. 142.16, that is the value of IL. Okay. Now the second one. Second one is IP. What is IP? In IP, we take the weight as Q1. So instead of Q0, it will be Q1. Summation of P1 Q1 divided by P0 Q1 into 100. Okay. Now from the table, what is P1 Q1 sum? 695. So it is 695 divided by 490. 695 divided by 490. 695 divided by 490 into 100. Okay, how much you will get? 695 divided by 490 200, that gives you 141.836. So you can take it as 84. Okay, 141.836. So that is 84. Okay. Next one. So we have calculated this summation P1 Q1 is 695. Okay, 695 divided by 490 into 100, 141.84. Now, once you have calculated IL and IP, the third one is nothing but IF, Fisher's index number. It is the geometric mean of IL and IP. So you have to multiply IL and IP and take the square root. So square root of IL is 142.16 into 141.84. Multiply these two and take the square root. So when you multiply 142.16, 142.16 multiply by 141.84, you will get 20,163.9744. Take its square root. So you will get the square root of, you have the to press that the button where the square roots sign is written. So 20,163.9744. If you take its square root, you get 141.99. So it is, you get 141.999. So that means it is 142. Okay, so IF is 142. Okay, now the fourth one, IDB. IDB is the arithmetic mean of IL and IP. So it is IL plus IP divided by 2. What is IL? Just now we have written here 142.16 plus this is IP is 141.84. Add them and divide by 2. So see what you will get. 142.16 plus 141.84, that gives you 284. 284 divided by 2, that gives you 142. So IDB is also 142. Okay. Now what remains is IME, that is Marshall-Edgeworth. I hope you have understood. Fifth one is Marshall-Edgeworth. How do you find out Marshall-Edgeworth? You the formula is, the numerator will be the sum of the numerators of IL and IP. So summation of P1 Q0 plus summation of P1 Q1 divided by summation of P0 Q0 plus summation of P0 Q1 into 100. Okay. So you take the summation of the IL and IP, the numerators of IL and IP, and the denominators of IL and IP in the denominator. So summation of P1 Q0 plus P1 Q1. This is what I've written. P1 Q0 plus P1 Q1. And summation of P0 Q0 plus P0 Q1. Summation of P0 Q0 plus summation P0 Q1. Let us put the value. So what is the this is 725 plus 695. So 725 plus 695. And the denominator is IL denominator is 510 and for IP it is 490. So 510 plus 490. 510 plus 490 into 100. So 725 plus 695. 725 plus 695 is equal to 1420. And 510 plus 490, that gives you 1000 into 100. When you calculate this, you get 142. So IME is also 142. Okay. So in this way, we have calculated IL, IB, IDB, IF, IDB, and IME for all the for this particular problem. Okay. So basically, what is the first one? If you first two is more important. IL and IP. Once you have calculated this, IF you can get by taking multiplying and taking the square root. IDB you can get by taking the arithmetic mean of these two. That means you add these two and divide by 2. And IME is nothing but this numerator of IME is summation of numerators of IL and IP, and denominator is summation of denominators of IL and IP. So basically what you have to do is you have to prepare these 4 columns, take the sum, and then put the values in the formula and you get the. So today we have seen how to construct these 5 types of index numbers. I hope you have understood. Thank you.